Okay, I didn't set out to keep talking about the same company over and over and over again. That definitely was not my goal, but it just so happens that this company is always just seems like they're always on the right side of something going on in comic books, and that company is Skybound. Can they do any wrong? So here we go. Let's get into this article right here. Skybound and Image unveil first look at LEGO Ninjago Strike of the Serpentine graphic novel. Now, first of all, who like I'm not going to lie to you, like this is something I'm just looking for, but when somebody does something right so many times, at some point you're just like, okay, they have something to do with this. I'm probably going to be interested. And Skybound kind of has me in that, leaning toward that. Today, Skybound Image Comics, in partnership with global children's book publisher AMEET, revealed an exciting first look at LEGO Ninjago Strike of the Serpentine, the new graphic novel from Rising Stars, Cameron Chittock, Mapmakers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Stranger Things, and Will Morris. Gospel hits comic shops on February 4th, 2026. I didn't even know this was a thing, but it's hard to keep up with everything going on in comics. I mentioned that before, but it seems like this is just my observation, and I could be completely wrong about this. It seems like there is a general understanding amongst comic book professionals that you got to get younger audiences into comic books. Whatever that gateway is, you can't neglect younger audiences to always go with ultra mature content, because these younger people are going to be the next generation of comic book collectors. And typically, if you now I'm not saying this is a blanket truth. Typically, though, if you don't get a person earlier on in their adolescence, teenage years, I'm not going to say you seldom get them later on, but that's typically, I would say, between the ages of 7 and about 14 is that window to get a young person into comic books. Now, older people do get interested in comic books. When we were at MegaCon, I actually met a gentleman probably in his late 20s that had just got into comic books. Invincible is what got him into comic books. He watched the cartoon and then he started reading the comic books. We struck up a conversation. We gave him some recommendations of books that he probably wanted to check out. But that's rare. It does happen, but it's rare. You got to get younger audiences and you got to make something that's enjoyable for them. This is one of those things. New and longtime fans of LEGO Ninjago Saga can expect to uncover the secret history of the fan favorite Spinjitzu brothers with familiar faces and shocking first appearances in this new collaboration between LEGO Group and Skybound. Yo, is Skybound just taking up everything? like like anything geek culture and comic books that's a licensing deal, is it just like automatically going to Skybound now? This is crazy. These dudes are getting everything. Wu and Garmadon, I think that's how you say his name, are champions of Ninjago. But until now, both Spinjitzu brothers have followed their own paths. When whispers of war with the Serpentine clans emerge, these two must brave unexpected threats and bring together the mighty heroes known as the Elemental Masters. I grew up on Kung Fu flicks, karate, all that stuff. And when I was a kid, something like this I would have been so excited for this. Although when I was a kid, I didn't really like reading, but it's funny, got into comic books and then, reading books and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that, but I could definitely see how this could really attract some new comic book readers. I think especially for those kids who are into cartoons, like younger kids into cartoons, not necessarily into comic books, something like this would be the gateway to other comic books and being like, oh, okay, this comic book thing is a big deal. Let me see what else is out there. Following LEGO Ninjago, GARMADON and LEGO Ninjago, SHATTERSPIN, both by critically acclaimed writer, artist, Tri Vuong. I know I'm probably slaughtering that. Everyday Hero Machine Boy. This is the third LEGO branded graphic novel release from the landmark partnership between multi-platform content company Skybound Entertainment and global children book publisher AMEET. Oh, I didn't know they did anything else with LEGO. I guess because I'm paying attention to a lot of these stories now, and I really wasn't paying attention to the news in the comic book space before. But this is, like I said, especially for a kid that's into this stuff, it's probably dope. LEGO Ninjago, Strike of the Serpentine, is the result of an unparalleled collaboration between AMEET, Skybound, and LEGO Group's LEGO Ninjago transmedia team that connects the graphic novels with the TV show and product line. LEGO Ninjago, Strike of the Serpentine, and it gives the the ISBN number. I believe that's what it is. Yeah. SRP $16.99 will be available at comic book shops on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026, and booksellers, along with digital platforms including Amazon Kindle, Apple Books, and Google Play on Tuesday, February 17, 2025. LEGO Ninjago Strike of the Serpentine, cover by Will Morris and Sarah Antonelli. Man, I don't know why it's so hard for me to say that. Lunar Code, blah. I'm not gonna read all that. And it kind of gives you a look at some of the art. It's funny how a good artist can take something like Lego in a comic book and still manage to get you interested in looking at this. Like, looking at this art right here, I'm like, okay, I could see myself buying this. This actually looks interesting. It's more geared toward a younger audience, but I read the DuckTales books. That's definitely for a younger audience, and I had a great time reading that book. It was actually super dope. But this is good. I'm not going to tell you, and I know I keep saying this because I want you to understand that I don't have a foolish, childlike optimism when it comes to the comic book space. But I do see things like this, and it does excite me because I say within myself, there are people within the comic book industry that actually understand what needs to be done to generate legitimate excitement in comic books, and I like it.